Meanwhile, this is the first weekend that beaches in Texas are open without restrictions. It's part of Governor Greg Abbott's plan to restore his state's economy. Abbott's stay-at-home order expired on Friday, hours after Texas reported its largest single-day total of COVID-19 deaths. Right now, the state has almost 31,000 confirmed cases and more than 900 known deaths. It's about 80 degrees at the Galveston seawall along the Gulf Coast of Texas, and that is where we find NBC's Priscilla Thompson. Hey, Priscilla, Galveston's beaches have been closed since late March. How crowded are the beaches now?
Joshua, there are lots of folks out here at the beach today. Officials tell me they've seen a few 100,000 since Friday when they reopened. And as you can see, you've got some folks here with their families trying to practice that social distancing. But I think folks realize that it is a bit of a double-edged sword. I actually saw a man complaining to a lifeguard about what he felt was the lack of social distancing. But mind you, that gentleman was here on the beach walking his dog, and he didn't have a mask on. So that's sort of what we're dealing with here. But we do see that not a lot of folks are coming out in larger groups. They're trying to keep it fairly small. And officials here tell me that it will become harder as more people come out to maintain that social distancing. Take a listen to what the Beach Patrol chief told me.
They seem to spread out more than usual. I have not seen a lot of use of masks. And there are certain areas and certain times a day and certain places where it doesn't seem like social distancing is even a thing. It's not even in their consciousness. We're basically focused on life-saving and responding to medical emergencies and a little bit of law enforcement stuff with the Beach Patrol, and our police and fire and PD are also strapped, trying to maintain what we're supposed to do out here. And so we're really hoping the public will take that personal responsibility on themselves to do social distancing and to reduce the spread because of that.
So the onus is really on people to sort of come out and practice that social distancing on their own. And I do want to point out that something that someone mentioned to me is that when the beaches are packed, those restaurants across the street at the seawall can still only operate at 25% occupancy. They're not able to accommodate all of these beachgoers. And so you begin to see some crowding happening as people are waiting in line to try to get a table at many of these restaurants, Joshua.
Thank you, Priscilla. That's NBC's Priscilla Thompson joining us from Galveston, Texas.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.